Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now,
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl, Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
I think it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Let me do your hair. Y'all know I just got these braces and my lips got caught. What's happening, good people? How you guys doing out there? Y'all know who it is, right? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha, Wright, a.k.a. Key Lolo, coming to you live and direct from Cleveland, Ohio, where my braces are just giving me the blues. But it's okay. I'm going to talk through them. Cheryl is having technical difficulties. Man, it's been somewhat of a crazy night, but guess what? That's okay. We are 75 episodes in, and we are getting ready to talk about Black-owned professional beauty and barber supply stores. Our guests that we were going to have tonight, they too had an emergency. So tonight has just been one crazy night, and Cheryl is trying to get her computer to come on. But in the meantime, what's up, Miss Leah Armstrong? How you doing over on Instagram? What's happening, my Twitch family? What's going on? LB is in the he's a. My big brother is in the chat. That also we see Weekend. So everybody, I hope you guys are having an absolute wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening, because we are. It might be snowing, it might be crazy, it might be whatever, but we're just gonna go ahead on and have a wonderful podcast tonight. You guys are gonna love this one. It's dedicated, to the professional world of hair care and barbering. And if you work in the barber and beauty industry, then welcome to Planet Pluto Pseudo. This is America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. And so what we do here on this particular evening is we talk about everything in the professional world, but from a professional standpoint. And so tonight is going to be about Black-owned beauty and barber supply stores. Does it make a difference? Does the product make you, or do you make it? If you are a licensed professional, then weigh in. If you are a customer, like our hair aficionados in the chat, and maybe you're like, I think she used motions in my hair instead of, so we're going to talk about that. What's the difference between over the counter? Does it really matter? Can a technician make something that's really crappy and turn it into something really good? Or can't you just have to fess up and say, you know what? This is crappy. It's not going to work. All right. So we're going to talk about that tonight. So tell us what's going on with you guys. How you guys doing out here? Thank you guys so much. What's up, boss? How you doing? Boss, I'm telling you right now, I'm like 2 seconds from snatching these bracelets out of my mouth. All right, everybody, put your hands together. I see her. She's coming through. My PNC, my partner in cosmetology. Put your hands together, y'all. Here she comes in. She's all ready. Hold on. Oh, come on now. Put your hands together for the hair oracle. Quit acting all so diddy. Here she is right here. Bam!
Man.
What's happening, Black?
What did you bring? The snow in my computer?
Listen.
Damn.
Look, I'm like,
my screen is black.
Yeah,
like literally.
And my lips is getting stuck to my brain. I know y'all like, what's wrong with you? This is a great, oh my God. Anywho, what's happening, good people? How y'all doing? What you on your cell phone?
Yeah. Saw.
Just one of them days. Come on, y'all. What a girl goes through. Just one of them nights. Come on, y'all. Don't take it personal.
Man.
You see Cheryl's back. Wait, you see Cheryl's backdrop? Hey, Cheryl, I gotta go get some wax because my lips is sticking.
Oh my God.
Yeah, hold on, y'all. Go ahead, Cheryl. Talk something to. I'll be right back, y'all. I gotta get this wax on. It's just. I'll be right back. Technical, big lips difficulty. I'll be right back.
Big lip difficulty. Jeez. Man, Kilolo said, "Oh, I'm gonna be stuck. I'm gonna be stuck." Okay, I get all prepared, get everything together. All of a sudden, my goddamn computer just froze. She put snow. She put the blizzard in my computer, y'all. You know, I ain't never on my cell phone. I don't like being on the cell phone. So welcome, y'all. Jeez, man. We must have a very important conversation coming. I don't know what we gonna talk about because I really, Kilolo been sneaking up on me. Damn.
Dudes. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just I don't get it. I don't know. If you are over 55,
don't get braces.
Don't get braces. You know, my
grandbaby. Take them to the grave, y'all.
Yeah, my granddaughter. Y'all should see her. She be looking at her mom, and then she'll look at her dad, and then she'll look at me, and she'll be like, "Ice Cube, one of you motherfucker pluckers is different. It's you, Big Mama. What's that in your mouth?" I'm telling y'all, it's crazy out here. You love her backdrop? It is. It's kind of dope. The big lips. Yes, big lip difficulties.
Man, what?
They love your backdrop. And we're pure unadulterated. It's a podcast. Thank God it's not CNN or MSNBC or The View. Did you hear about Elon Musk? he said The View has to come off the air. Yeah. Elon Musk said The View has to come off of the air. I don't know what that's all about. But anywho, all right. Anywho, that's what he said. So we're going to go ahead on and hop into the topic tonight. In case you guys are wondering, what y'all going to be talking about when it comes to Black-owned?
I'm going to switch to
your computer. You going to try it?
Yeah.
All right, sure, going to be back. We know what we love y'all for working it out. Y'all know this just, and I'm just going to keep putting how do my wax? Oh my God. I'm sorry, y'all. Next week, we're going to be a little bit better host. I thought I brought it up here with me. Anywho. I don't know what I did with it. I thought I brought it. Oh, there it is. Back there on the bed. I was going to keep putting some wax on. Anywho, so we're going to have a wonderful discussion tonight. Y'all get ready. We're just trying to make it happen here. This is probably, y'all, if y'all want to give this podcast a thumbs down, it's okay. We understand. Tonight, if we only get 2 views, we are not upset. It took a lot for us to get here. A whole lot. Uh-oh. What I done did. A whole lot to get here. All right, so let's hop into it. So Cheryl, we're going to be talking about Black-owned beauty and barber supply stores. Now, typically when we think of beauty supply stores, we think of Cosmoprof. Sally's it's over the counter, but some professionals do use Sally's. You have Marlowe's. You know, they're different names all over the. What's up, Aisha? How you doing, baby? That beautiful Tootie. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday to my little niece, Tootie, okay? I had to send her some cash at one. That's the new thing now. You know what I'm saying? Anywho. Okay. Yeah, you could get more money out of your loved ones through Cash App than you can with cash. Anybody figure that out yet? I'm like, you know what? Anywho, I digress. So yeah, we got to talk about that, Cheryl. So let's give them a backdrop. Now, one of the things that you always say about your dad, let me pull up because I know what you're gonna say. Pull that picture up. Let me pull the picture up because I know she's gonna want to know. And we're gonna set it straight. Because there are some people out here that's just not buying the professional only. So first, I'm gonna show you what you're gonna say.
What is that? Yep.
Here's my. I know. See, I was ready for you, and you said your dad was adamant that he was
Yes.
making products that is for professionals only. All right. Now, remember, this particular podcast is geared towards licensed professionals and hair aficionados. So, we're just going to get into the topic of Black owned professional beauty and barber supply stores. Now, I'm going to play a clip. And I, y'all know I'm back on TikTok now. Come on, y'all. Put a T in it. I got a T. Back. I'm back on TikTok. Don't hate, congratulate.
Okay.
And so here's this TikToker, and this is her take on the beauty supply stores. All right. And then you're going to come back through, and then you're going to talk about why your dad said,
Absolutely.
nah, I'm going to go on professionals only. And then we're going to go take a deeper dive, because a lot of people, they don't buy the professional only. They like, I mean, a relaxer is a relaxer is a relaxer. I
Okay.
mean, hair color is hair color is hair color. I mean, she charged me more money just because you okay. All right, so here's this clip. It's about 41 seconds. So get ready. All right, here we go. This is her take on beauty supply stores. Here we go.
Getting credentials is gonna just bring you to new heights. It's gonna be the starter to something great. Not only will you get your braid license, you'll get a wallet size card that you could take to the beauty supply store, professional quality products that an unlicensed stylist don't have access to. She got to go to the regular beauty supply store. They can't go and grab it. Forget the TAM, they don't even have access to it. So if you know you're an exclusive stylist, you got the skills, and you don't get TAM for cosmetology school, just take that infection control course and get your braid license. If you click the link in my bio right now, I'm going to put this on sale one last time.
All right. So here she is saying that one of the benefits, because now you guys know, we talked about this last week. Now the natural hair community wants what, Cheryl?
Regulation.
They want a license.
Yeah. They want
And
to
so now this is, remember, it differs from state to state. All right. It differs from state to state. So now you have braiders who want a license. You have barbers who have a license, and then you have cosmetology license. Now there are some perks to being a licensed professional, and one of them is professional hair care products. But a lot of people don't see the value. Professionals, there are a lot of professionals who have never use professional everything, and then you have some customers who have never experienced professional products. But your father was 100% adamant that professional only was the way to go for him as a product manufacturer and a retailer, because he sold retail items. So let's go on and hop into the topic, and let's get everybody to understand why professional only. Why does this matter?
It matters. One, because we must be backed by a industrial complex, which means that he wanted the ideas, the philosophy, the education to start with us as Black people. And the way to guarantee that was that we have a lock-in system. And you can only do that when you control all levels of the complex, which is the thought leadership, the technology, the innovation, the laboratory process, the mixing process, the manufacturing process, the education process, the marketing process, the marketing messaging, what we call the narrative. And we wanted that to distribute out to beauty schools because we wanted to have a built-in incentive for the industry to be healthy, which means jobs. We wanted to control the books, how we taught it, what we taught, okay? And after the beauty school, because we wanted to incentivize the professional level. which is the students. So that keeps the student admissions high. And as they come into the salon, we know that most urban entrepreneurs or Black entrepreneurs, they tend to go into what we call cash services, which are service rendering businesses like barbershops and salons. And plus, salons and barber servicing, regardless if it's nails, skin, trichology, any dental hygienists and things of that nature, those tend to have what we call high cash flow. Okay. Also, beauty service businesses tend to be job creators that hold what we call leases to the business commercial real estate. We hold the longest leases in urban communities. Okay. Which means that the leases tend to be, you will find your salon, salon doesn't change locations often. Barbershops
Right.
change locations often. They've been there for years, or you've been there since you've been a little girl, and then you come in there and now you're a teenager and the salon is still there. So we are holding economically the community together. And so Mr. Morrow said to hold that structure is easier to create what we call jobs and what we call an economy. Now, also, then the retail to the customers can actually buy their medicines, such as doctors. It is better to usually go down to see your doctor and then to go down to that medical practice's pharmacy.
Right.
Why go someplace else? And so it was important for that structure, that industrial complex, to be well oiled and just be healthy, because it had a very strong trickle down effect. That's why he did it.
Okay. All right. Now so you have a couple of different, now we're not merely trying to tell people how to run their business here. Okay. What we aim to do with this particular podcast is to walk us through the pros and the cons of professional only when it comes to products and tools. So let's get everybody on the same page now that we see the benefit. So number one is going to give you stability. Number two is going to give you the entrepreneur the opportunity to, like she said, pour into the bigger complex.
Absolutely.
As far as employing people, manufacturing the product, you have a little bit more input and creative control as to what you want to see on the outside by way of bringing people in. Okay.
Exactly.
So now we have a purpose of why we should have professional only.
Right.
But we have people in the chat who are licensed professionals, and some don't understand the difference. Now, the reason why I'm saying some is because this afternoon, I had the blessed opportunity to attend Shaw High School, which is located in East Cleveland, here in East Cleveland, Ohio. And they had a career fair. And it was absolutely, no words. I'm going to post up. I'm going to stay up late tonight and post. Phenomenal. So and some of them are probably in the chat watching, but they don't know the difference between professional only products and over the counter. So, because I question, does the product make the stylist or does the stylist make the product?
Good question.
All right.
Right.
So Trish, I did that just for you. I ain't gonna tell no lie. Because when I was in the chat last week, I said, "What them natural hairstyles?" She's like, "I'm right here, boo. I'm representing, baby." So, that's the premise of why you're gonna tell the difference. And then, does the stylist make the product, or does the product make technician? Because nail technicians have professional only. Barber have professionals only. What's up, big bro Mo? I see you in the chat. So Cheryl, take it away, and I'll pack some more wax in my mouth. Go ahead.
Well, let me just say this. And one element that I left out in the last section was the fact that after all of that trickle effect it goes after it goes out of the beauty school, it goes down into what we call the beauty supply house. And those beauty supply house entrepreneurs, because so you have entrepreneurs in the beauty supply level, entrepreneurs at the barbershop level, beauty shop level, beauty school level, then you have entrepreneurship at the manufacturing level. By the time it gets to the beauty supply level, the beauty supply can now control its profit margins, the price it buys the product at. It can buy a more expensive quality, higher quality. What are that is that professional kind of level of professional products, because their first end user are professionals, which makes it, that's why they get the name professional. It's because they tend to vet better than a consumer. They
now break that down. What does the technician do when you say vet better than the consumer?
Right. Because that manufacturer knows that their first end user is going to be a professional, which means that they're going to know about porosity, they're going to know about timing, they're going to know about pH, they're going to know about processing time, they're going to know about smell, they're going to be checking texture, they're going to be and then they have so many different clients. And so they're looking for products to meet exactly the need of certain clients versus other clients. And so they want a very thinner kind of leave-in, or they want their customers to be able to buy for them and take home, or they may need, they have customers who do have chemically treated hair, as in color, or they may have a relaxer, some type of texture enhancement. They may have certain scalp issues. And so the physician of the beauty world is buying and pulling in these particular product lines to cater to a specific clientele. They could have, certain hairstylists only do specialized, or they may only do scalp, or they may only do locks, they may only do braids. And so they're buying for at these very picky, and there's a lot of hairstylists that are very picky. So they like no scented. They like who's picky? And so, well, go ahead. You have you're muted. You're muted.
I said persnickety.
Yeah, and let me just say this. And certain people who go in to sell them something, sometimes they get into really deep, heated debates, and they want to be sold to, and they want to be convinced. And so they are your advocate. They're the customer's advocate. We are
now
your
let me just say this, okay? Now, what Cheryl is telling you guys is true. There are technicians who, and I'm using the word technicians because we're including nail techs, we're including estheticians, we're including barbers, cosmetologists, hairstylists, colorists, and natural hairstylists. So you have 7 disciplines, okay? So I'm going to say technician.
Yes. Good
because word. You do have technicians. Let's take like the Reverse Design Team Hair Salon. A rep can come in with a product and will want to sell it. Now remember, Cheryl just took you through what a technician does behind the chair. We're not trying to cookie cut. I think that's the biggest mistake that's made about a professional technician. They do not cookie cut, because you could have that one customer who's like, what, Cheryl?
Sensitive, allergic to this, got sensitive skin, and they're really picky about a scent. So they like non-scented, or they like things that smell really vivid.
Now we got some customers in the chat. Are any of you like that in the chat, where you go to the hair salon and you're very persnickety? Like, I don't like the community bucket approach. I think people like, you can't. Are you one of those customers who are like, don't use that on my hair? I don't like that. Let us know, because what we are telling you is explaining why professional products matter. So when the rep comes in with the product, right? we're going to go through various levels of discernment. And every salon has their own culture of how they discern what's going to fit for their pool of customers. This is why salon hopping is a no. Because if you're not in the culture or the ethos, I borrowed that word from Cheryl. If you're not in the ethos, then you might get thrown off. And it's not so much that, a shampoo is a shampoo is a shampoo, but it's just like Cheryl said, it's the texture. It's how we want the hair to feel. We believe in results beyond the salon.
Absolutely.
Professionals, we're not so concerned with how your hair looks in the chair. We want to see that hair 3 weeks, 2 days. We want to bump into you in the grocery store.
Determine, and let me just be clear. They have maybe the 2 or 3 shampoos that they do have, especially for people who want extra clean scalp. So we don't use a lot of the oil base. Some people like lather. Then we'll have, certain shampoos for that. And then for our long hair clients, so we don't want to weigh it down. And so we are making these choices based on the information we receive once the product knowledge is ascertained and the rep comes in, and then they give classes. And so we get to ask questions, and then we make a judgment, and then we make an ultimate investment, right? And so that investment is what ultimately Mr. Morrow was saying must be protected. And that person who has a business has the bills, light bills, water, and they're in business. So they must have the extra, all of the protections, all of the quality, all of the real good nutritional, shampoos and creams and oils to service you guys, to keep them in business, to keep them being able to hire people, and to keep the industry healthy. And that is why that approach protected the industrial process so it could become an economy. And I saw it firsthand myself growing up, because every subsequent business my father and mom went into, the beauty paid the bills. And if the beauty pays the bills, the beauty paid for the radio station for 11 years here in San Diego, beauty paid the bills. And all the 211 employees that Mr. Morrow had at that time just supported. And so that you give your best quality to the hairstyle.
Right.
Not on the commercial level. Not that you give the commercial level jump. It's just that in my experience, the commercial and retail sector is maintenance products, things like, things that you can't really get in the service of actually coming to the salon. Those are just from slight hair care, home care, and and even the professional even recommends those as well.
Right. So we're not poo-pooing on over the counter, okay? We're just letting you guys see the benefit of going to a technician who's using a professional only, and why these black-owned professional beauty supply stores have something unique that your traditional beauty supply stores don't have. What's up, Juju? I see you in the chat. My big brother Mo, how you doing up there? I love you so much. Over here on Instagram, we got some cousins over here. What's up, Vodka? We got K-Slave. What's up, Shag? How you doing? And Leah Armstrong, what's happening? All right. Again, we are 75 episodes in over here on Planet Pluto Pseudo. Excuse me. And tonight we're talking about Black-owned professional beauty supply stores. And we're just getting you guys to understand just a discriminating taste. And this is what makes a person an expert, So in addition to us, buying stuff from the companies, now let's get a little bit deeper. Some companies want to hear from the cosmetologist. As you see, Rev Air. We brought Rev Air on, and Cheryl pointed out these are the types of companies that you want your cosmetologist and barber, or if you are one, you
Absolutely.
want to buy from a company. I know Dr. Morrow listens to stylists all day long. I did a whole documentary on cosmetologists who told me that as a product manufacturer, Dr. Morrow, for a lot of them, was the first manufacturer who actually wanted to hear input from technicians about what he was doing and why. So talk to us, Cheryl, about companies who want to hear. Why would your father, I mean, why didn't your father just say, they ain't no chemist. They gonna do what I say and buy what I buy, and they don't do what I do. What made your father do something like that? And why is it important for for technicians to look for companies who want to hear from them and actually do something about it?
Absolutely. One of the things that I would tease my dad about is, Dad, stay your ass off the phone. I mean, because they would call him and say, excuse me, can I talk to Dr. Morrow? Can I speak to Dr. Morrow, please? I got an issue. Okay. Well, first of all, Mr. Morrow always thought he was one of them.
That's so nice.
He was one of the only actual barber and hairstylists of the companies of a George Johnson and a Joe Dudley and a John Johnson. And you couldn't call, when you used Fashion Fair, I don't know if you could call up Eunice Johnson or whatever the case may be. The point is that he actually cared about how much money. He was always counting the money in the hairstylist's pocket. When he created something or he invented something, he would call them up and say, I'm going to send it all across the country. Or that was I think one of his favorite processes of creating a new innovation. He would call them about 50 or 60 of them. I'm sending it out. You call me back and you tell me what you think, because it was healthy. He was worried about the economy of what we were doing because he didn't want to infiltrate it. So
now, if you are a cosmetologist or a technician, rather, all the disciplines in the chat, and you've had the blessed opportunity to give feedback or consult with the company, let us know in the chat that you've had that experience. And Cheryl, what's up, Esther? We got our de facto producers in the chat with that hair clap on. Esther, our guest, was here, but they had a little emergency, so they're going to come back another day. So let me just give you a big fat round of applause. We always appreciate you. Again, everybody, make sure you go check Esther out. She's on all the social media platforms, and she is definitely one of those people who...
Hey.
Okay, she's clear. All right, so thank you so much. So Cheryl, to go take a deeper dive. Now we know why your dad wanted to hear. And remember, let us know. And if you would like to have that experience, maybe you like,
I would love
to talk to a company, but I'm scared they don't want to hear from me. I don't know how to reach out to them. Let us know. This is what this podcast is for, because a lot of technicians may not even be aware that there are companies who want to hear from you. Some will pay you, some will not. Some will, take your advice, some will not, but they want to hear from you. So Cheryl, take a deeper dive into that experience of hearing from the technician for whatever reason. Is it to make the product better? Is it to sell it?
And also too, it's all it's a protective mechanism. Actually, it is, because they know you're protecting them, and you're protecting them. So when they invest in them buying cases of your new texture treatment and your new peroxide or your new developer, whatever the case may be, they're taking an investment on you, and then you create this reputation of communication. You create this trust factor, and they know that you are protecting their business because you're going to get something of quality. It's the same thing as Louis Vuitton would call you guys and say, "Ooh, I'm coming out with a new handbag. You guys want to carry about 5 of them and then just give it to some of your mothers and your mom and just try it out and see if you guys would love to carry it in your department store."
Food companies do it all the time. You go to the grocery store and they're like, "You want to try these new sausages? Try this new, dip." They do that. Yes.
And let me just say this: let me just answer and address Esther's comment.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between DIY, right? And that is that you only have access to finished ingredients. Those are, once again, recipe-based ingredients, which means, let's just say, one of the things that you guys always say when Mael got bought out by Procter & Gamble, right? You say the formula changes. That's because you now have to, when you scale it, okay, so now let's say you're making product once a month for 50 buyers. Well, now you can do ounce, and then you press the button and you're mixing it. But when you are now bought out by a company and now you got to make 100 gallons, the ounce mix cannot be sustained. And so now you have to, because a company like Procter & Gamble deals with raw materials, and people who do DIY uses end result ingredients, which means that we will use a different form of olive oil. You would use only a food grade of olive oil. That's not sustainable in what we call formulation, right? And so that is basically where professionals are getting more potency, they're getting more efficacy, they're getting things that are directly connected to a result. DIY and retail products do not create major change. They're not designed to give you a difference in pH. They're not designed to do that. And so to answer your other question, does product make the stylist or the stylist make the product? I would probably say the product makes the stylist.
You better say that. You better have said I don't think they heard you. Before we hit that thumbs up button, can you repeat it? Does the stylist make the product? Or does the product make the stylist? Say it again.
Right. I believe that the product, the quality, the time, the potency, the education, the formulation pedigree makes the stylist, and the stylist makes the style.
Yeah, that's one. That's them facts right there. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Let me drop the bomb on that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do one even better because I don't think they heard you. Here you go. That was one of these.
Stop. Hammer time.
All right. Sorry, MC Hammer. We don't own the right to that. But I want to come back after we tell them what you need to do to help change the narrative about what you think about Black-owned professional beauty and barber supply stores. Wike say it's about 12 people in the chat. And she said, so can we just go ahead on and get 12 likes right now? Show them what y'all need to do right now, Cheryl.
Come on.
All right, welcome. Thank you. We can't do it. We love y'all. Y'all done hit that heart button because y'all like this topic. We gotta do something nice for Wike and Esther.
Wike.
We're gonna have to have a meetup with me y'all in person because y'all are just so good to us. Thank you, Wike. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna kick it up a notch, okay? So Cheryl, we got them going. They like, okay, I can see the whole thing with this whole, professionals only and so on and so forth. And even Tristan Natural said, hey, it's about that. Okay. So she says, for clarification, thank you so much. She's asking about people using pro only and not making it themselves. Okay. So take that back. Is that a limitation? So if we go back to what she said, she said, what do you say to the DIY person who feels that pro only, like if they're only using professional only products, it prevents them from taking hair care into their own hands?
That's a good perspective. And let me just say this. And she's actually, the question is correct, because professional use only does mean that you have to take your license but that is a firewall.
Exactly.
That the industry can have an incentive to give you a better service when you come in. Not the fact that they're trying to lock you out from using it. They want you to be able to go into a specific beauty establishment and say, excuse me, do you use such and such and such and such a? Oh no, I haven't heard of it. Well, yes, I've heard of it and I wanted to use it. Well, you know what? Since you've been such a good customer, let me check that out. In fact, what I will do is that I will go and purchase it for you and keep it on hand just for you. And if you particularly like it, and if I fall in love with it, I'll make it part of my product roster. That's how that particular conversation goes.
And let me just add on to that.
That answers your question, Esther.
Yeah. Yeah, Esther, let us know if that answers your question. And the other thing that professionals only products will do for the technician, it will, like you said, it's that firewall. It'll stop you from pushing the envelope. Because let's just be honest, when you get behind that chair, you can get a little cocky. I'm just telling the truth according to proof.
Yeah.
You did one highlight, you did them all. No, you haven't. You formulated one for RV. You could do all of them. No, you can't. So the professional only is a checkup from the neck up, right? It'll also recalibrate you, because one of the things that happens for me as a colorist, and I was trained by the best, baby, for real. Olive Benson, Rachel Morrow, Keith Michael Davis, these real people, Nuccio Basilisco, may he rest in peace. But I will tell you this for sure, that coloring hair will always recenter you and keep you in the science so you don't get too cocky. So the professional only will always lean into credibility. It'll keep your career stable. It's kind of like what your grandma would say. Variety is the spice of life, but routine pays the bills. That's what professionals only do. I will say it again. When you use professional only products, the credibility, it will police that technician to keep you from.
It keeps you in the parameters of scientific and technical technique.
Absolutely. And the integrity is there. The customer can see that I'm not going to do that. So and then like I said, but you can be creative, because variety is the spice of life, but the routine is what pays the bill. You can be creative and you can get with the company. Like our salon is partnering with Morrow Sweet Products. So Cheryl is not only do we get the opportunity to work with the company and understand more, we get that training, we get it customized, we get to be on the cutting edge, because we can't do hair, we can't do it all. I know I look like I can. But I can't. Okay?
You do. Low.
Yeah. So that was a very, very good question. And so talk about how for technicians, how working with companies will give them credibility, because that's something that
Right.
Because we got a lot of consumers, aficionados who watch this particular channel,
Mhm.
and they'll go and like they'll bring in the picture, like I saw. Can you do this? Can you do that? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, but they don't. It's the credibility, because what I look for is to see a repeat customer come back through that feed,
Right.
unless they are a platform stylist. Then no, they're gonna always have different people because they're doing like photo shoots. So Vernon Francois, but he
Yeah.
has repeat. He does Janelle Monáe's and them here, so
Mhm.
he does have repeats.
Mhm.
So talk about credibility, and what that does when you partner with a company,
Mhm.
for people who are looking to be that premier technician behind the chair or in front of it.
Your first goal is to create once again a trust rapport with now, and even though most manufacturing personnel may not be professional stylists, but what they do is that, of course, there's that word again. They do have a professional ethos. They do have a culture that they're trying to to kind of create longevity with, right? And credibility with. So they are trying to say, please give us the professional information of what you need in the salon. What is your customers needing? What is your customer saying? What does, because of course, if they are a very busy salon, like Revis design team, it is most days, that they see a lot of people and the chairs are full, and so their needs and the things that they cater and the things that the feedback that these people are giving them, and so they expect that particular stylist to go to them, to have this trust, right, factor, and to service you while you're at home and you're not paying attention, you're going to work, you're at home in the bed, and they're talking to them, because the manufacturer wants to stay in business, because we have an incentive to stay in business. We are feeding our families as well, and the hairstylist is doing that as well. And so there is a camaraderie and even exchange to keep the manufacturing of the product reputation, and we keep the manufacturer true to their creed, and
Mm-hmm.
keep, and if they really are about that business and they standing 10 toes down on business, they are going to have that avenue open to genuine professional feedback to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that, because believe me, as a hairstylist and a salon owner and a cosmetic trichology practice, I wanted to see results. And if they didn't come back and tell me, or they came back and they says, you know what, every time you did my hair, now it itches, I'm going to question that particular new thing that I added, and I'm going to get on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, because you have the customer service number. Well, my ass got the number to the marketing director and the sales director and the CEO. And I'm saying, you know what? We probably have got a little too much ascorbic acid in it. And my customer maybe has some
Right.
experiences, some
And now,
dry.
right now, if you're a technician in the chat and you have questions, whether you're watching this right now in the live
Mhm.
or if you're watching this post the live, drop your questions in the chat again about working with companies, or maybe you're trying to do your own hair care product brand, like from like Dr. Morrow, and create something, and allow Cheryl and I to help you out and make connections. Because what happens with that credibility when you work with companies, because you don't have all the resources as a salon owner, you don't have a lab, you don't have a chemist, on deck, right?
Right.
But when you work with these companies as a consultant, or they just want to hear from you, you get access to what? The latest stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been asked to help test flat irons, I remember when cordless flat irons and cordless clippers, and I was one of the first people, to be invited to be a part of the unfolding technology. So that's another added bonus of what happens when you work with companies. That credibility will push you up and put you in places and spaces with people that you probably would not normally get if you're just shopping over the counter.
Right.
Now, Cheryl, are you familiar with this organization? It's called BOPSA.
That's Mr. Sam Innan.
Okay, it's called the Black Owned Beauty
Association.
Supply Association. So I'm going to play a clip, and if you are interested,
Actually, he was. I call, he was the one I called to be on tonight.
all right. So if professional only hair care products is your thing, then check this out. And Cheryl's going to give us a little bit more information about BOPSA, Black Owned Beauty Supply Association.
Let me tell you about the association created specifically for Black people who work in the beauty supply industry. And it's pretty major because despite Black hair being a multi-billion-dollar business, there's not a lot of Black owners. It's called the Black Owned Beauty Supply Association, or BOPSA, and its whole mission is to help Black folks become beauty store owners, distributors, or manufacturers. And here's why. Black folks are 2.4 times more likely to buy hair products than any other shoppers, and in what's considered the ethnic hair care market, Black folks purchase 85% of the product. But despite this, we don't own much of this market that we largely hold up. BOPSA says 75% of beauty supply stores are owned by Korean Americans, and within the 25% that's left, Black folks own an even smaller share. Full stop. I don't want to see any anti-Asian hates in the comments. There is a very nuanced reason as to how all of this came to be, and at the core of it is good old-fashioned white supremacy. I can explain that in another video.
All right. So she was gonna go there. That's on TikTok. That's where I'm getting my reels from. So let's talk about the reality of a Black owned professional supply store. So what can a new cosmetologist or a seasoned cosmetologist what can they expect when they enter into a Black owned professional only? Remember, the public can't come in. What can they expect when they go into one of those places?
Well, first of all, I wish Sam was in. See, Sam, you should have your ass in this podcast tonight. I told you, I called your ass, and you should be explaining.
And we do have someone that's interested. So see what I'm saying? Okay, right. Trish, we got you.
Right, Trish, we got you. Let me just say this. This is a sticky subject because when the trend of the push for Black people putting 65 to 100K into their own beauty supply, because before that push, we had what we call Black distributors, and they were beholden, they were supported, and they had a cutout. And Mr. Sharp last week told you about how the manufacturers was loyal to the distributorship. But bring it back today in terms of what the space that BOPSA filled in helping and educating them and making sure the lanes of them ascertaining all of their stock and their inventory and things of that nature. I believe now this is the perfect time. The Korean issue is too long to get into right now because it's it's long and it's intense and it's dense, and so and it's a lot of caveats in there, and without shaming and getting into the cultural conversation, I will just say this: moving up to right now in this very conversation, that it is a good, I believe, a good business going into. I do have a different method of how to do that, which Kilolo we've talked about in terms of branding it more to an exclusive demographic instead of keychains and wigs and whistles. But I will say that great investment. But I do believe when Bobsa was really, I think it was 2006, 2007 when it was really popular. Another guy, Devin Robinson out of Texas, they were pushing the magic of owning a black-owned beauty supply. But black-owned beauty supply without the loyalty of the manufacturers is what is the break that it's the straw that broke the camel's back, in one of the reasons why black-owned beauty supplies are not as successful as big chains.
All right. Okay. All right. So we do have Trish that says she's interested. So now again, this is really, really, really important that we really get into the professional only barber and beauty supply store. Our
Absolutely.
guest tonight was going to be Mr. and Mrs. Powell, Calvin Powell, and his beautiful wife, Maria Powell. They own Toledo, Ohio, I believe, oldest black owned professional beauty and barber supply. So they are going to come back and talk to us a little bit more about this. This is their lane. We are encouraging those of you, maybe you're behind the chair, you're looking for something different. A professional only beauty supply and barber supply store is a wonderful way to stay connected if you just don't want to stay behind the chair. So that is another option.
Yeah. It's very lucrative.
Yeah.
Because of course you have an advantage because you know how to sell and you know how to tie the result from the product as a natural hair provider or a hairstylist or a barber. A barber can sell a line of shaving creams and face moisturizers and antiseptics better than just them randomly going to a store and trying to read all the labels and things of that nature, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with the conditions and disorders every day. And
Mm-hmm.
through that process of dealing with them every day, we have developed a keen kind of process of elimination. We have a better process of prognosis, diagnosis, and things of that nature. And so we have a different relationship with product than just the mere consumer, if that
All
makes sense.
right. So Maurice is saying something very interesting. That's my big brother, Mo Cheeks. I love you, Mo. Okay. He says once the establishment sees that the blacks are progressing in the profession, he feels like maybe they devise a scheme that excludes and mostly, and maybe it's mostly legislation. And so that may have a little merit. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I don't think that they devise a scheme. And if I can just add that, I want you guys to understand that Korea, Asia, has always been in the wig business. They have always had wig shops. 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s. They were always there. I think what has happened is that there was some issues with our own disloyalty.
Mhm.
See,
And that's where I was gonna go. Sorry for like jumping in. This is why this topic is really important, is because the the hairstyle is like one aspect. The home hair care is what's really, really important. And when you guys open up your businesses, you need to have that exclusive retail that's customized for your salon space. And this is why Black owned professional beauty and barber supply stores are important, because you'll have the opportunity. Not all companies do what Dr. Morrow did, but there are a lot. As a matter of fact, the bulk of them
Mr.
do.
Dudley,
Yeah, I know.
they're very committed. You know,
Yeah.
most of the
What's the
chains
one?
started retail, but the key is that he was also an investor in the cultural aspect of black hair. everybody black that's in the beauty business does not have to hold up the bloodstained banner of the industrial process. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
Cornell McBride of Design Essentials has a wonderful relationship with hairstylists. We could go on for days. You do have some companies that are a little more, you know.
You know, and we already know, and this is just professional kind of insider conversation, the statement that I'm getting ready to make. We have to make manufacturers pay who sell us out and go eventually retail. We have to put up that firewall and make them honor what they do first, because they introduce their products through our clientele, and then they go and do something else, and redo their business models. And we've got to have, and that's part of the issue. If I could answer Mr. Maurice, it's not that it's one thing I can say. It's usually the enemy within.
Yeah.
That statement, you know, since, you know, number 47.
Because and Trish, I'm glad that you are interested, because
Absolutely.
we're hosting the Fête du Jour. And I know a lot of people feel like, because we keep hearing so much, the industry is this and we're not connected. We don't do this no more. Everything is bad. Hairstylists don't stick together anymore. We're saying that's not all the way true. The Beauty and Barber Collective is hosting this event. We're gonna promoting this event. We're gonna host it at our salon, because we want you guys to understand that there are people who want to take their career beyond the chair. And owning a professional beauty and barber supply store gives technician the opportunity to be able to have the best from the best. And as the owner of a Black-owned professional beauty and barber supply store, you can educate us. You can help us out. And we can give you feedback. And that is what this is, the Fête du Jour, which is a day party, is about. It's just us celebrating what we can do and making ourselves available so that people can know that we're here and we can be there for each other. That's what it's all about. So if you're interested in doing that, opening up that store, saying this is good. Esther says she wonders if people in the Black beauty supply stores could do what Ulta does with the salon, blow dry bar in the back, as well as products. What do you think about that part?
Well, first of all, the Ulta, that is not, you know, a new template. It's not a new, we used to Black salons. We started that kind of trend. Then the Koreans also would have the stylist in the back and then the beauty supply in the front. And so, and the curl built the what we call the hybrid, right, of salon, and then you walk through and get your activator and your creams and your moisturizer in plastic bag or whatever, you know, curl picks, whatever the case may be. But the key here, because now Ulta is now integrating the style bars into their business template, we can. And I think that they should. And that's a very good point you brought up, because Black beauty supplies, we're so inventory heavy. Mm-hmm. Because we think the more inventory, the more choices you have, the more you'll buy. And that may not necessarily be true.
Not today, not in today's climate.
Right. And so in my goal, even with the Reverend's design team, right, is to be able to give something specialized and to match that with the ultimate experience, because that is what the business model of Ulta. They're giving you the buying kind of prestige feel, but they're allowing you to do what we call buy and test at the same time. And then of course, blow dry bars are very popular, because blow dries are what 30 to 40 minutes and you're out of the door.
And this is why we love you, Esther, because you always bring the funk. You bring the funk. Well, let's give you a big round of applause tonight. Now, don't forget, whether you're watching this post live, right? Esther. That's for Esther and Trish. Okay.
Yeah.
Or if you're watching this right now, drop your questions in the chat about owning a professional beauty and barber supply store, or if you want to know how can I, you know, become a consultant? How can I reach out to hair care companies? How can I work with Cheryl? The fact du jour is in person,
Yay!
not virtual. It is in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, at the Revers Design Team Hair Salon. It is 100% photo free. We got a DJ there, my little cousin. Her name is DJ
Man.
Danny. We're letting the youth, lead. We're going to practice what we preach. So we have a young and up and coming DJ. DJ Danny's going to be our DJ. We're going to have some healthy snacks because, after all, we have Dr. Joy, letting us know we can't be out here. So we'll have some little nice hors d'oeuvres and stuff. So it's going to be nice. So this is free. It's in Cleveland Heights at the Revers Design Team Hair Salon this Sunday between 4 to 6 p.m. And it's 2 hours. It's going to stop. We're not going to keep you. We're not selling you anything. If you want more information, we'll get your email. But we are not trying to sell you. We're just going to introduce you to what? Technology or technique.
No.
Tech, it can be anything that's tech, okay? And that's what we're trying. And this is what we do in the industry. This is not new. We've been doing this. We ain't new to this. We true to this, all right? So
I would agree. The beauty supply and salon hybrid is, I tell Kilolo this all the time, it is the business of the future.
Right. So
I think we can do it better than anyone. And then also, what was the enemy of most beauty supplies that pushed through 2000 to 2011, 12, 13? They just did not have the relationships. And I think once we keep focusing on price, then you're automatically competing with Walmart, right, Walgreens, and Kmart's and Rite Aid, and it's not going to work.
And let me just say this as we wrap this up, okay? And Cheryl and I was talking about this, and you guys let me know if you agree or disagree, okay? Instagram, I know you're still rocking it out. What's up, Chef Ware? What's up, Dr. Love? I see you over there, Dr. Love. How you doing, Dr. Leah Love? Okay, so here's what we just really, how did this, Cheryl? Did I lose her?
Who?
Oh, there you go. Oh, okay. I think I messed up. I did something. Are we still here?
Yeah, we still here.
I'm sorry, but my orientation just went away. I don't know what I did. But anywho, I was talking about Dr. Love and she didn't zap me, okay? So here's the thing that we just want to make sure that that people really, get it. Number one is how to do it, Cheryl. How if a person wants to, I want to reach out to a company. I want to, give it a try. What could they do first? Just give them a little glimpse. And then we'll,
Well, I think it should be basically step into it and do it, because this is the era of the affiliate and the ambassador and the influencer. Mm-hmm. I think that they're open. I think that
I don't think they heard you though. This is the era of what?
The ambassador, the affiliate, and the influencer.
Because we talked about this. Remember, we said Charlotte and I talked about this yesterday. That I remember in 2000 when I went to the IBS. No, maybe like 1999.
Okay.
And maybe 98, 99. I went to the IBS, International Beauty Show in New York. And they were talking about the internet. Esther, you might agree or disagree. They were trying to tell the beauty industry that this thing it wasn't called social media, but the internet was going to be the new thing, because MySpace was out. Remember 1999 or something like that? MySpace. Mm-hmm. Right. This is before all of that. But we didn't want to hear it. And so what Esther just suggested and what Cheryl is talking about, we've got to level it up, because customers are looking for more than just, and you can fill in the blank.
Right.
If you are a technician and you're working behind the chair and you want to just not get on these platforms, you want to consume You want to sit at your in your downtime and you just all on TikTok, you're all on,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not on it, but you're consuming it. What do you say
Yeah.
to them? We wrap up tonight. If you're using it, you're watching us, but we're not watching you. This is why we're asking you guys to support who? Yate Keaton. Go
Right.
over and watch her on Instagram.
And these social media platforms have created what they call business centers. I use them all the time. Facebook ads, or while you guys are scrolling, most of that is sponsored stuff. And so there is a very therein lies, and believe me, there's a lot of elements, and I know that the learning curve, it looks difficult.
Yeah.
And I know that
Especially when you're old.
and I know you guys are at work most of the time. But there is a Monday, and then there's a Sunday, and then there's, maybe those particular days, or even on Tuesday, to be able to go and ask a younger person. And that's one of the things that me and Kilolo talk about: young people integration, and to pour them in and pull them in and to integrate them into, your world, will make your life so much more easier. And to throw them a few dollars to make sure that they communicate with you and you communicate with them, because you don't have time. Or
Right.
there is social media people who will, even on Fiverr, I mean, they're everywhere, but there is no greater influencer, an ambassador, an affiliate that is as knowledgeable as you.
Right. You gotta be able,
It
like,
makes more sense for you to do it.
yeah, like she's saying, a lot of small businesses are doing very well because of social media. I'm one of them. Like, they always talk about, I want to be a millionaire. Well, I'm not, may not be a millionaire, you know what I'm saying? But, I am doing very well. And so it is because of social media. I was talking to Cheryl while I was at the event, and I put Cheryl on hold, and the lady was like, "Hey, I know you.
I saw you.
I see you on that YouTube. You see, it
Or every
works."
time you're talking to somebody on the phone and you say, well, we'll keep up with. No, girl, I be seeing you, what you be doing. I don't be talking to you all the time.
Yeah. So if you're in the industry, Trish, you definitely want to think about getting yourself onto these platforms. We will support you. We're telling you guys, go follow Esther right here on YouTube. She's also on the other social media platforms. We can't do this by ourselves. LaWanna, I don't know, LaWanna, you probably got another social hand. I ain't no telling you, a we can't no telling what y'all got going on.
Right,
okay. Right. But we're trying to, support, each other, so you guys can know that we're all in this together. And this is why we're hosting the Fête du Jour. Also, when we come back next week, sure, we have something special and wonderful going on, right? We're going to have, where did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Okay.
Come on.
We are going to have this young lady here. I'm gonna see if I can show it right quick. I don't know what I did here, y'all.
We got we got to confirm, but man, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. So what we're looking into having is let me see if I can copy it here, because I don't know, somehow I kicked ourselves off of the other one. So we have Maggie Anderson, correct? Is this her name?
Maggie Anderson. The
yes.
mother of what we call, I coined her the mother of the Buy Black movement.
All right. So let me see if I can show a video. And you all will hear all this buy black on, and you're wondering who's the person that's responsible for that. Okay, so here she is. Let me see if I can present. All right, I'm going to share my screen, and here she is. All right, I can do that, Cheryl. There she goes, Maggie Anderson.
Yep.
All right, so we are going. It is our goal. We're working on having her, correct, Cheryl? So
Absolutely.
we're working on bringing on Miss Maggie Anderson, and so she is the person who is responsible for all of your Black owned hashtags. Y'all wonder, like, who came up with that? Buy Black. We think that stuff just came out of nowhere. No, Maggie Anderson is the person who's responsible. We're gonna have her on as Black History Month. We're hoping we can get her on and confirm that, and so we
guess
can talk
what?
about that.
And what day is it? It is the Blackout Eve. We're gonna be right here. Blackout Eve. We're gonna be on the 27th. We're gonna talk you into it. We're gonna talk about it. And Maggie Anderson.
And that's next week, because remember the 28th, right?
Friday.
That's that Friday. We're supposed to use our economic power, guys. Come on. All right. And we're going to be back here on Monday talking about what? Longevity. What has the natural hair movement, 25 years, taught us about longevity in the industry, okay? And then next week, we're going to see if we can get Miss Maggie Anderson. She is the creator of the whole hashtag, the whole movement of Buy Black and Black Owned. That did not just come out of nowhere. And I think you guys are going to enjoy her. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, Wike, Lawana, Esther, Trish. I'm going to reach out to you. Email us at the Afro Hair Science at Gmail email, and I will reach out to you personally, and I can help navigate you through connecting with companies if you want to, be a consultant or whatever. And also, if you're interested in doing some stuff with Cheryl by way of her products, if you're talking about opening up that beauty supply store, then that's how it's going down. So we got you. And you guys have a wonderful night, right, Cheryl?
Have a fabulous day. So what do we say, Key Lola?
All right. You know what we say? We're always signing out right here on the America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. We say good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. So we'll be back here on Monday at 6:00 p.m. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay warm, have fun, and don't forget, happy Black History Month. Deuces.
Welcome to Planet Pluto.